Olá, bem-vindos ao De Frente com o Touro, o programa de entrevistas que conversa com pessoas proeminentes do mercado financeiro. E hoje eu tenho a honra de entrevistar Brandis Desimone, que trabalha na Nasdaq. Eu estou aqui em Nova York e eles me concederam um espaço aqui na Bolsa da Tecnologia, a Nasdaq, para fazer essa entrevista e contar um pouco do que ela faz e do que a Nasdaq faz para os investidores do Brasil. Thank you very much, Brandis. How are you?
Thank you so much, Pablo. Thank you for having me. And I wanted to welcome you to the NASDAQ market site. We like to say this is at the crossroads of the world. We're in Times Square, New York, where Main Street meets Wall Street.
Exactly. It's so beautiful here.
Thank you.
It's unbelievable. We saw the ringing bell here, the opening bell, and we saw Brazilian IPO, Lavoro, the company that listed the company here today.
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for making the interview with me.
No, our pleasure. And I know that you interviewed my colleague Brandon last year, and we're really excited to be back on again this year to tell you all the new things that have happened over the past year and what we think about the future.
Perfect. Brandis, she is a vice president and also the head of America Data Sales for all America, not Latin America. Everything from the Canada south to Argentina.
We like to say from Calgary to Chile.
Good. It's further north and further south. Well, Brandis, tell us a little bit about NASDAQ and specifically about your role here in NASDAQ.
Sure. So, we're sitting here at the market site in Times Square, and what do most people think about NASDAQ? They think about the companies that are listed on NASDAQ. The IPO that you saw this morning, Google, Facebook, even Marriott and Pepsi are listed on NASDAQ. XP is listed on NASDAQ. That's what you think of when you think of NASDAQ. But in reality, there's a lot more beneath the surface than just our IPO business. And I represent our data business, which is a very significant portion of NASDAQ's overall business. So flashback to the 1970s when NASDAQ was created with these matching engines that matched buyers and sellers. They produced very high quality, accurate market data from these engines. And it's what powers the world's financial markets today. So any screen that you look at that generally has the price of a stock, XP included, generally comes from my team and our business.
NASDAQ never had a trade in the floor, always electronic since 1971, right?
That's absolutely correct. And we really believe that innovation and technology should be at the core of every business, and it allows you to continue to transform and to transform quickly. So that's how we started, that's what we believe in, and that's how we operate our markets today. And that same technology, in fact, has been so successful that now about 130 other markets around the world use NASDAQ's matching engine technology to power their own markets. So when you think, for example, of the Dubai Stock Exchange, they actually power the stock exchange off of NASDAQ's core technology that has powered the NASDAQ market since the 1970s.
Unbelievable. Very cool. Actually, in Brazil, when I mention NASDAQ, I say the technology exchange.
Can you repeat that for us, please?
The technology exchange.
That's exactly right.
That's it. Well, over the past 5 years, we've seen a tremendous transformation and changes in retail investing, not only here in the U.S., but also in Brazil. Brazil is growing very strongly. By the way, we are here with some XP and Clear clients that visit in New York, or they are retail investors that trade on, make their trades and they trade online. Now, can you share a little bit more detail how this transformation, these changes have impacted your role here in NASDAQ?
Sure. I mean, speaking from the view of XP, you've seen this happen in real life, right? So the past 5 years have been very significant in the retail investing space. And a lot of it was a confluence of things happening at once, right? You had COVID happen, which was a terrible thing, but a silver lining of COVID was that people were stuck on their couches. They were not going to work, they were not able to play or watch sports that weren't happening. Suddenly they had maybe a little bit of extra disposable income that they weren't using to travel around the world or to travel to work. And what else was happening in the markets? They were doing great.
Yes.
Right? So it created this whole new interest in retail participation in the market because, quite frankly, there was nothing else to do and the markets were doing
Everybody was home.
Everyone was home. Pair that with technology that suddenly came to a point where it was ready to meet the needs of these retail investors.
I see.
You could go into your basement and think about an UI interface for an investor or retail investor may want to use. And you
what is
build
UI?
that.
I'm sorry.
User interface.
User interface,
right?
okay.
If you say, I like the way my old broker-dealer's application looks, but I think I can build a better one. And I think now there's a whole market out there that's interested in a better application to use to buy and sell stocks, right? This is kind of what XP was
Yes,
doing.
of course, of course.
I could build it today in my basement using API technology and easier access to the market. So we saw two things happen at once. Advanced technology allowing creators and builders to do something with a lot less. And then a huge surge in retail interest in the market. And we had been waiting for this for a long time, right? NASDAQ, although historically our data clients have been your big banks and broker dealers and hedge funds, all we wanted to do was to allow easy access to the markets for everybody, Wall Street and Main Street. And COVID and the confluence of technology finally allowed that to happen. So it's our hope that retail does stay interested in the market. They do want to participate. They do want to invest, and the numbers and interest stay as high as they were during COVID.
Yeah, no. During COVID in Brazil, also the number of investors almost doubled.
Right.
It's very so. One thing that COVID did, I think, it's speed up that process.
100%. And I mean, I think we've seen, a lot of interesting creators challenging the status quo. I mean, XP's fantastic. We've seen Avenue Securities. Everyone knows about that.
They were from XP also.
They were from XP.
Spin-off film.
We've seen Vest in Mexico, and they just acquired SproutFi down in Brazil. So we've seen a lot of really good interest coming from Mexico, Latin America. Our Asia Pac business, grew significantly in the past couple of years because of new interest in the markets. We're talking to data clients in Saudi Arabia and India. It's becoming, a global interest in the U.S. markets.
Oh, great. And what about NASDAQ? What is NASDAQ doing now to play an impactful role in this ever-changing retail investment environment?
Sure. Retail has become educated on the markets, but let's be honest, they're not working on the trading floor at a big bank, and they don't have all of the knowledge and resources that somebody on a trading floor at a big bank may have. It's part of our job at NASDAQ to make sure that when we give the data to the client through an application like an XP or an Avenue or a Vest, that the client's able to understand what they're looking at and make educated decisions. So part of it is taking something off the shelf that was historically meant for institutions.
Yes.
And making it easily digestible for retail. So that's our number one job, is to tweak our content and our data in a way that allows Main Street to utilize it just as well as Wall Street, the same data, and make it fair and equal for all. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, allow our data to be utilized via quick, fast, new APIs, right? In 1970, if you wanted to build a trading application, you would plug your server into our data center, right? And maybe 9 months later, you'd be able to launch your trading app. Today, you can build and launch a trading app in the next 24 hours. So we need to make sure that you have the ability to get easy and quick access to data. The third is education. Very, very important.
Very important.
The past couple of years, the markets were doing great, but this year, not so much, right? I mean, today we're lucky, the market's mostly green, but that hasn't been the way the markets have been looking for the past couple of months. So we want investors to stay in the markets. We want them to benefit from the markets. We want them to create generational wealth, take money out from under their mattresses, put it into the market, allow their children to have generational wealth. But that means making good choices, knowing what you own, knowing what your risks are, and knowing how to mitigate some of those risks by offsetting those risks with safer decisions as well.
Yeah, perfect. So far we've talked about what's happening in today's retail investing market. and how you are interacting with your clients.
Right.
But let's look ahead. Looking ahead in the future, now, what are you thinking about when it comes to the rest of the year? Now, still have 2023 almost all year to go, and 24, 25. Looking ahead, what do you see?
Sure. Are you excited about?
Yes, very excited.
I am also equally as excited, despite the fact that the markets can be a little rocky from year to year. Generally speaking, they always go up, right? We're looking at forever. Anyone, any company can become an investing application. So I think the sky is the limit as we look at access to the markets for everybody. If you have a baited audience and they're doing some sort of financial transaction, if you're a mortgage company, if you're a credit card company, if you're a supermarket and you have access to people that are taking out credit cards for you can easily convert that business into an investing business. So when we look at the possibilities, we think we're going to see a lot of new interest in these super applications. These super experiences. Right? If I can go and shop on this website, why can't I take a couple extra dollars and put it into investing in that brand that I just bought on the shopping website? Right? So we're seeing this a lot through Asia, but we think we're going
to happening in Asia?
It's happening through Asia. This idea of the super app development where investing becomes part of the fabric of your life. Right? So you buy this, you enjoy XYZ pizza, they're a public company. Why wouldn't you buy a share of their stock? And can you do it all through the same
Maybe you can get change the stocks.
Maybe, yeah. Exactly. Very good. I mean, and can you do it all through the same application? That is what the future will likely look like in the investing space. And we at NASDAQ want to make sure that as you're building these enhanced client experiences for your users, we are part of that journey with you. But what does that also mean? It means that it's not just going to be the equity market, the options market. Our clients are going to want new and different data. What is happening in the ESG space? What are we thinking about the crypto space? Maybe you're going to want to have, maybe you don't want to trade it all, but you're going to want to have the ability to trade it all if you want to.
Yeah, I see.
So it needs to all be offered to you, and then you can make those choices. Maybe today.
Maybe not today, but maybe 2 months from now.
Exactly. So now not only are these interfaces going to have to offer investing, but they need to offer the full menu of solutions because they don't want you to go somewhere else. So it's our goal.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Exactly. Baited audience. Keep your consumer interested. Don't let them leave your experience. So how can we offer all those different types of content in an easily digestible, consumable way as these organizations and companies are looking to grow and expand? And it really rounds out NASDAQ's mantra of allowing easy access to the markets for everyone. And it's very, very exciting. We're so excited about the retail interest in this space. We're so excited about the growth in Latin America. We're so excited about the growth around the world. And we're just very excited to be on board for this process with these builders.
Okay, great, amazing. Count with us. Count with Experian Brazil.
I know. You guys have been such a great partner on all. I mean, you talk about the flywheel effect, right? XP takes our data. We partner with you on a lot of other things. You're listed on NASDAQ. It's just such a great relationship. We're just so grateful. We hope all of our NASDAQ listed customers have a good relationship with us like XP does.
And I thank you very much. We have so many good friends here in NASDAQ, and thank you very much for your presence here in my talk show. So, bom, e você? Muito obrigado. Nós conversamos hoje com Brandis Desimone, que é vice-presidente e chefe de market data para a América inteira, desde lá de cima até o Chile. Bom, e fique aí que vai ter uma outra entrevista com outra pessoa da Nasdaq, o Efron. Até já. Valeu! Vai, Touro!
Realização Jovem Pan News.